Morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the internet world. Welcome to another edition of Golden Independence. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. You see me moving from asset to asset. Yes, assets is what it's all about. So, Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin is creating waves throughout the world. And things are happening in this space that are going to give Bitcoin, right? It's standing in the minds of the average person. What do I mean? Well, in the event you have been under a rock, the Vietnamese have experienced bank account freezes. Yes, bank account freezes has taken place in Vietnam. Imagine waking up, right? Imagine waking up about to have your coffee, or you're at your favorite deli, right? Or coffee spot, and your card doesn't go through. And you do an online check, and you see that in your bank account, it's saying zero, like zero. You have no money, right? You have no money. And then when you investigate, all you're basically getting is a sorry. You don't get your money back. This is what has taken place. This is what's going on. People are dealing with this in Vietnam. It has been realized. You can check that out yourself. It's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, and I've been saying this, for a while now. It's going to be a matter of time it's going to be a matter of time when these things happen in enough jurisdictions, in enough places. And hey, don't wait until it comes to you. Don't wait when the powers that be either lock you out of your own bank account, or they push that button where you have zero. And it doesn't matter if you had $1,000, 100,000, or a million in your account. They could switch it off. They could switch off that account, or they can not allow you to have access to that account. And what this is saying to me more and more is that the money that you put in there is not yours. And this is something that I have learned. This piece of financial education is something that I learned a long time ago, right? A very long time ago. It'll be almost 10 years now since I learned that the funds, or the income that I generate to put into these banks, the money does not belong to me. And when I found that out, I was shocked. But guess what? That's the truth. That is the truth. The money does not belong to us when it's in there. So when does it belong to you? Well, if you take it out in cash, it belongs to you. Yeah? Or if you convert it into Bitcoin. Notice I said Bitcoin and not crypto. Right? Notice I said Bitcoin and not crypto. Why? Because crypto has an owner. All of crypto has an owner. Right? From Tether to the latest meme coin. It has an owner, it has a protocol. Yeah? And more can be made. Right? I'm not, this is not an attack on people who have made their wealth in crypto. Yeah? Crypto is an awesome business. It's made a lot of millionaires. And millionaires are going to continue to be made, depending on your jurisdiction. And if your jurisdiction has not caught up to the cryptoverse or cryptosphere, then you will remain a target for bank seizures, for your funds to be switched off, right? When they feel like it could happen. Bitcoin is the ultimate safeguard, especially when you take custody of the Bitcoin yourself. And it's that particular type of activity is what I'm encouraging people to look into, as well as other things, to be sovereign, because the world is getting smaller, right? And if the world is now getting smaller, that means the global powers are coming together, right? The global powers are coming together to control the masses. Now, how does one protect themselves from what's clearly happening, right? As an individual, we have the speed to protect, guard ourselves, put things in place where at the very least ourselves and our family will not be ran over by the financial curse that is coming. Yeah? Because it's not just going to be Bitcoin alone. Looking into different passports. Holding different passports will also help with one's sovereignty. And I have a little, I got a little insight on that too. So I'm working on being sovereign on all levels. It's not just about finances. It's about being able to move. And without having millions of dollars. So when you combine the knowledge of how to travel, right? How to travel like a millionaire, but you're not paying millions of dollars. but you have millions of dollars in terms of wealth from crypto or Bitcoin. Now we get to enjoy and experience a lifestyle whereby the length of time it took, it's going to create a sense of balance, because we will be able to buy back that time with this knowledge, with the knowledge of knowing what types of passports to have, right? And what type of bank accounts are secure. Because there's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, we still need the banking system, yes? And just like with everything, there's not, not all banks are corrupt, right? In order for Bitcoin to be where it is, there has to be banking activity going on. So let's just say that there are crypto and Bitcoin friendly banks, and the people who are in charge of those banks, they understand Bitcoin, they understand crypto, right? And they believe in the movement, they see it as being the future. And part of my crypto journey is finding those elements. Yeah? Part of my crypto journey is finding those elements whereby I could have the passport that connects me to, that also connects me, that would allow me to acquire crypto easily and safely, right? So I'm only using the traditional system to convert my fiat, right? To convert my fiat into Bitcoin. Because not all jurisdictions allow you to do that. Yeah? We're not as, we are not as fortunate as other jurisdictions where they could go straight from their bank account onto a crypto exchange, and, they could use their credit cards or their debit cards, right? No problem to use Binance, right? And not only that, but they could off-ramp it too. It's not just on-ramp. Because when I'm speaking about the banking system, they'll allow you to enter, but you can't come out. It'll be very difficult, right? It'll be very difficult for me to off-ramp. So to off-ramp my thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. And it will be as if I never had it. Right? So imagine that torture. You're seeing 100,000 that you can't even have access to. You don't have access to. Well, there are many people in my very same situation, but they don't have the knowledge as to how to maneuver to get involved with the entities that I'm talking about, right? They don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know even where to start, right? But this is why we are here, right? And if any, I'm definitely here to help out the ones who live on this rock. I'm here to help position them accordingly, right? Really, to really help them. I'm here to give them the truth. Is that that their funds, that number one, the funds operating in the banks on this soil, it's not safe, right? And they do not operate in your best interests. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact that the banks here do not operate in the best interests of the client, of their clients, right? It's a different level of slavery. It's a different level of a slavery racket that's going on this island as we speak in 2025. And this is one of the reasons why they don't want to entertain, they definitely don't want to entertain crypto or Bitcoin, right? Because think of it. If they are making money through slavery and Bitcoin is a freedom, is a freedom movement, right? Then the banks will lose money because people will be paying off their loans. They wouldn't take 30 years to pay off their loans. Banks make money through the interest, right? But if I ask for, a loan, a $10,000 loan, but not a $10,000 loan, let's say $1 million loan. I ask for $1 million loan over a period of 30 years, but I pay it off, but I'm paying it off in 10, right? Think of it. I'm basically paying off my mortgage payment every 10 years. That would be, that's 2 Bitcoin cycles. You look at 2 Bitcoin cycles. If you had 100, if you just had 100 Bitcoin, right? 100 Bitcoin. Look at where Bitcoin is now. But go back a few cycles before the major run up to the 20,000. Imagine when it was in the low figures. Imagine Bitcoin being in the low figures, single digits, and you knew about it, and you understood it. Meaning you were one of the few that understood it, and you knew about self-custody, and you knew about, you know what? I need to get as much Bitcoin as I can, and you were able to get 100 self-custody. 100 Bitcoin. And you just held on to it. And consider 2 cycles when it went beyond 220,000. 20,000. You have 100. Huh? Just half of that. That pays, you already paid off the loan. You don't earn the bank. You earn your home outright, and you still got 50 Bitcoin left. And now with the same 50 Bitcoin that you had back in 2012, right? You acquired that Bitcoin in 2012. You still have 50 Bitcoin left. But now the price of each Bitcoin is at 100,000 each. You're now a multi-millionaire just by holding on to an asset. Just by holding on to Bitcoin. You are a multi-millionaire. Well, this is what the Satoshis are going to be when the world comes in to Bitcoin. The Satoshis, which are fractions of the Bitcoin, the small amounts, those fractions. And Satoshis are virtually infinite, right? Satoshis are virtually infinite. There's infinite amount of Satoshis that can be distributed. And one Satoshi is one Satoshi. Right? But in the fiat world, one Satoshi could be highly valuable. One day we're gonna see one Satoshi to be equaling $1,000 instead of $1 buying you 1,000 Satoshis, which is where we are now. We're at the point now where $1 will get you approximately 1,000 Satoshis. It's really 900 and some change. It's like 999 Satoshis. But let's just call it 1,000. $1 will get you 1,000 Satoshis. I'm just rounding it up. But soon it's going to be inversed. Pretty soon it's going to be one Satoshi is going to be valued at $1,000. And then one Satoshi will be equaling 10,000. Right? Just one Satoshi in fiat. In fiat. But one Satoshi will still be one Satoshi. That's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. That one Satoshi will equal one Satoshi in the Bitcoin world, but in the fiat world, one Satoshi will equal $1,000, 10,000, or possibly even 100,000 in the future. Right? Because when you're talking about Satoshis and fractions of the Satoshis, then I say that one Satoshi in fiat, we're talking about, well, where it stops on the calendar, not the calendar, the calculator. See, the fiat world is going to see the one Satoshi in the Bitcoin converter, where it actually ends. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end at that Satoshi, because it's still going to be more behind that. So as the value of one, quote unquote, one Satoshi starts to go up, the other units behind that start to become noticeable. They become seen, and this is where we get the one Satoshi equaling one Satoshi in the crypto Bitcoin ecosystem. Yeah, within the Bitcoin ecosystem. So when grocery stores want a solid value, they're not going to price things in fiat. They'll start pricing things in Satoshis. And then you may see things start depreciating according, or well, again, if we're talking one Satoshi, it will always be one Satoshi. Meaning a loaf of bread will be 4 Satoshis. But, right? A loaf of bread would be 4 Satoshis. But although Satoshis may increase according to, that one Satoshi where it's placed, now may have $1,000 value. Further down the line, it will still, we're gonna get to that 1 Satoshi. And wherever that 1 Satoshi is, that's what you're gonna use to pay for things. Because 1 Satoshi will be 1 Satoshi in the Bitcoin atmosphere. So this is why, you know, opportunities like BitHarvest is so phenomenal, because it's not about for the now, it's for the later. BitHarvest is for that time when Bitcoin is at 100 trillion, right? I'm talking about in price, not market cap. 100 trillion in price, not market cap. I'm not talking about market cap. I'm talking about price. The Bitcoin price is at 100 trillion for one Bitcoin. 100 trillion for one Bitcoin. That's coming. Why not? Why wouldn't that happen? If there's only 21 million and you have trillions of dollars that's already here. It's already in existence. And now we know, right? We know that they could just print more, but you cannot print more of Bitcoin. So with the entities that can actually print Bitcoin, it's going to get to a point where all of that fake money is going to get converted or bid for real assets. And the realest asset for this time in our lives is Bitcoin. You can check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're interested, get started. Let's get cracking. Let's have a conversation. Hey, let's go live together. Huh? Let's spark up the algorithm. But that's all for now. From, you know, we're all about assets, right? What are assets? See, somebody right now is working for somebody else's dream. Right here, right now. You see what I'm doing? Right? But how many people, right, can do what I'm doing? Like right now. It's people, they can't even take a break this long. They can't even take a break for this long to even do a stream like this. You gotta learn, be in an environment like this. Many people are not even in a jurisdiction to take advantage of the amenities around them. So with that, I just want to say in closing, think about what you think is an asset. Hold on to it, cherish it. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bless.